I think last year was the best and worst year of my life, if that makes sense. Building my channel and analyst profile was a very strange yet beautiful experience, and I've met so many wonderful people as a result of it. But I hit a lot of low points outside of that, and for the first time started to feel my age caving in on me, and that I have been too careless about my financial situation. Other than that, I haven't thought much about myself outside of anime analysis. People always ask me if I have kids or if I'm married, and I see many of my friends around my age scared at the idea of being alone still. I honestly don't care. I see the problems my best friends constantly have with their significant others, which at times makes me feel glad to be single. I can do whatever I want. Having kids or getting married is not something on my priority list at this time. I don't care for my retail job. I convinced myself I will become successful enough making videos and reviews if I can really commit myself to it, as I've tried to all this time. Realistically, my financial situation is pretty concerning despite my progress with the channel. What helps is I am not very materialistic. Not at all. The only things I used to buy myself besides the essentials were video game and anime soundtracks. I don't consider myself a failure the way people in my family think I am. It did take me a long while to figure out what I want to do with myself, but I figured it out, and I'm doing it. I know that failure is a possibility, and maybe I'll hit a low point where trying to make anime analysis as a career won't be feasible. I don't know if I'll become delusional, or already am, but I want to believe I can do it and reach my dreams. It's concerning to me how my parents are getting older and older. I want them to be proud of me and not look at me as a waste considering their sacrifices, and wonder if that will ever happen. My mother has a small understanding of what I'm trying to do and is very supportive. My father is a lost cause, unfortunately. While some people want to have friends, I have the opposite problem where I want to focus on what I am doing with the channel. Last year there were times I didn't want to hang out with friends because I was working on a video or review. I have to make time and make sacrifices when I could be advancing my channel. At the same time, it feels impossible to relate to my friends in real life. I can relate to people on here, on the internet, but I don't want my closest connections with people to be digital. But when I'm with friends, I cannot stand anything they are into, and they can't stand anything I am into. With the new year here, it's already at an awful start. I want to do better than last year, because I started editing a lot better around the end of the year. That should help. I want to make better content. We'll see how it goes. As my channel continues to grow, I put out a few videos since the last content in progress video, and we'll talk about those in this one, as well as offer more anime commentary. Though the arrow of my channel's progress stretches out for a long while, it curves upwards. A steady trickle of subscribers continues to flow, and my comment section is almost getting to the point where I cannot keep up with it as much anymore. The numbers on the analytics are going up, my views, watch time continue to grow and go up. My Patreon, however, has stayed the same. I recognize that I have made people very angry with my content, especially on Analyst, as someone who has bashed Bocchi the Rock, bashed Licorice Recoil, bashed Spy Family, bashed Attack on Titan, etc., etc. If you can't deal with a different opinion, that's on you. My favorites did change a lot too. Anime like Space Battleship Yamato and Macross 7 gave Ashura no Joe a run for its money, but Joe is still number one for me. This year, I have so much anime to watch, and I'm really looking forward to it. Even better, no more mass watching seasonal anime. I can satisfy my backlog now. I'm done with seasonal trash, with the exception of only a few now. Speaking of seasonal anime, I learned a valuable lesson about this last year, that I have since finally implemented into the new year. That being, that it is not worth watching so much of this trite anymore. For 2 years I was watching 20 to sometimes 30 seasonal anime per season. It's not worth it. Having your brain on seasonal anime warps the mind. I learned the value of watching older anime. I learned to have more value in watching beloved and influential older works such as Ashura no Joe, Macross, Space Battleship Yamato, Gundam, etc. This anime gave me a set of standards that ruined modern anime for me. The backlog will always be superior to seasonal anime. I refuse to watch much of it now, as I mentioned earlier. This is not to say that new anime is all bad. There were many great ones last year, such as Birdie Wing, A Golf Girl Story, Build Divide, Code White and Black, Megaton Q Musashi, and then the new adaptation, all issues considered, Legend of the Galactic Heroes. The reason why most people didn't watch or know about these is because you have to look for good anime now, among the growing sea of unoriginality. I'm over trendy anime like Boshi the Rock, Spy Family, and Licorice Recoil, because something being popular does not make it good to the individual until they watch it themselves. Time is too short for me to enjoy these type of simple things. I want to enjoy good anime instead. It will be a tragedy if I keep watching all this seasonal anime and ignore all those great works from the 70s, 80s, 90s, etc. that paved the way for this new and questionable age of anime. Maybe you could say that there is a debt to pay by watching these historically important works now. Anime now does not seem to be going in a good direction, and I do not think it is going to get any better. But we have the past at least, as the older generational tastes conflict with the newer generational tastes.
Les nappes sans fin, les visages identiques.
My newest video is on Turn A Gundam, a proper conclusion to an intense year of content. I try to incorporate the themes of beauty and oppression within this video through lots of brutal editing. It became my most successful anime analysis video and proved to me by the end of the year that if I really put in the effort, progress can come. This time around, I talked a lot about the production in Tomino, which was new. Still, something I worry about is that I need to improve my writing. I don't want to be known as that person who can edit decently but cannot write. With the Snow Queen, no one had ever talked about it on YouTube before, as far as I know. I enjoyed it so much that I decided to be the first one to do it. Yazaki and Sugino are big names in the anime industry for their work, on anime such as Ashura no Joe, The Rose of Versailles, and Dear Brother, just to name a few. So I figured I'd title it as a way to call all their fans out and say, hey, you missed this one. With this anime, I resurrected it because someone needed to talk about it. My channel has always been one of just doing things. Even from the start, I picked up my phone and said, I have something to say, and just started doing videos, as bad as those early ones were. The disappointment of where anime YouTubers have been going at the time created me, and if I'm going to complain, words aren't enough. I need to do something about it. As a result, I discovered my passion for anime analysis. This is why I believe that the best way to give advice is to be the best example of it. Still, I have conflicted feelings about being called an anime YouTuber because I am so repelled by almost all of it. Still to this day. This video shows the direction I've been going in lately. When I make a video covering a series, I try to make it in the spirit of the anime. I want you to feel what the anime made me feel, and I do all I can to try and create that with the script, editing, and song choices. As a result, every video I do is very different in style as each anime I explore demands it. I don't care to just sit down and talk in front of a camera with a mic. I have to push for something better and to take anime analysis in new directions. Anytime someone finds a passion in doing something, they should be inventive and to push for something new and better with it that has not been done before. This is real progress. Getting the footage for The Snow Queen took a long while because this anime barely exists at this point, and that's here in America. I want to point that out because I've never been to Japan, though I would like to go there someday. For the music, I picked a variety of songs from inside and outside the soundtrack to this. There is a lot of mystery in this anime. In the beginning, Gerda hears the eerie sounds of bells coming from deep in the forest no one returns from. I wanted to open with an AMV to show this. There is a song in the soundtrack that is about this mystery. However, I decided to go with a similar song from the game Kirby 64, because it also has the sound of bells in it and fits in better with this. The background art of this anime is great. It's clear from the visuals in the video. Some of the staff come from older anime such as Macross 7 and are known for their beautiful background shots. For the second part, I used another song from Kirby 64 which flowed well with the icy background art. After an introduction, I used the opening of the anime but edited it to be my own opening with the clips, instead of just using the original. I used it to show the love between the two main protagonists, and to also show the wonder and adventure of Gerda's journey. On a related note, it irritates me to no end how anime YouTubers use official compilation AMVs for their videos. They are putting in no effort by stealing them this way. Get more creative. After that is the finale and most dramatic part of the video. I use a special vocal arranged song from the soundtrack to the game Mother or Earthbound Zero on the Famicom. It's a song I figured would be perfect to use with an anime like this. The lyrics were also very fitting. I tried not to use spoilers, and even if I did, this anime is so unpredictable, there's no telling where the story will go. I have watched this video lots of times already, and that's fine. If you make a video and you can't bring yourself to watch it, it's probably trash. Anyways, I do cry sometimes, as this video really relived those moments for me from the series and showed my growth as an anime YouTube analysis content creator at this point. Out of nowhere came passion in Macross 7. Macross 7 didn't just become one of my favorite anime, and it's not just a 25-hour episode series. To me, Macross 7 was the best 25-hour concert I had ever experienced. With Macross 7, I created the wildest anomaly of a video, from me singing the analysis at some point, to the intensity of the edits and music chaotically working together. I pushed myself the most I could at that point. I had discovered how to get around a lot of the lag in the editor, which is mostly just my ignorance. As a result, I wasn't held back anymore, and my video on Macross 7 definitely shows that. And I watched everything, all the side content, and pulled every single little clip out of every scene that I felt I could use. I had 650 clips for this. This is what I usually do, and this being a long series didn't intimidate me at all to do this. In the introduction, I wanted to show the continuing conflict between the Zentradi and the humans. At the same time, I wanted to introduce Basara the best way I could, early on into it. I can only imagine what someone who doesn't know what this is would think once they realize what Basara is doing in his Valkyrie. What surprised people about the second part of the video is that it was significantly more chaotic than the introduction. Afterwards, I thought to myself as I was planning out this video that if I really want to make a video in the spirit of Macross 7, I have to sing in it. I thought about it and decided to go through with it. I have no talent for singing, none whatsoever, and use my karaoke experience to try and do it. Funnily enough, this isn't the first time I've sung in a video, as I have 2 other old ones where I did as well. I want to make it clear here, I had the time of my life making this video. Some people get tired of editing and find it a struggle to make videos. Not me. I had a smile on my face putting this together, and the payoff after watching the finished project felt magnificent. With every part, I couldn't wait to start coming up with ideas and putting them together. It was too much fun. Anyways, after that, it immediately transitions into the third part of the video. Here is where I got the idea to sing anime analysis. I used the echoey mic effect on my voice from the editor and went at it. Since Macross has a lot of intermission art, I used the intermission of my choosing to split the different and earlier parts of the video. The fourth part is where Remember 16 starts playing. Macross 7 is one of the most passion projects. I wanted to show the beauty of the art and invoke some kind of emotion here before I start the main analysis section. I tried being creative, such as where I edit Basara in as if he was playing the song. The beauty of the guitar solos, the beautiful art, the editing, showing the night turn to day, put me at peace. It was also a lot of fun trying to edit Basara into singing the songs. I did not always have the footage for it, so I had to edit his mouth flaps, which you can tell because some of the scenes look like the background art is jumping around because they're different scenes being cut and spliced together from different parts. Once I started talking, I thought about what I should do here, since now the lag wasn't as big of a problem. I was able to do more editing in the background as I talked. I wasn't just playing random clips. Every clip has a purpose. That's important, an important point. The last part of the video is where I use the song Diamond Calling. It's an amazing song that tragically doesn't appear in the main series, but in the side content instead. I talked more about Basara and gave some anime commentary here. I wanted to have an impactful end with Basara singing the end of Diamond Calling with a shot of him singing to the galaxy. Personally, it left me with the feelings of freedom and wonder. At this time, I would like to thank Sheep. He recommended Macross 7 to me, and it was because of him that I watched it. If it wasn't for him, this video might have never happened. I also want to thank Jet for helping me improve the way I talk in my videos. I want to, if I've showed for it at all, maybe. I want to send more thanks to Kuro, who has helped my channel more than I had thought. Others like Harold, who have had an influence on the direction of this channel, and whom I've had many pleasant conversations with about anime as well. And I want to thank my Patreon Munt, who has stuck with me and even sent me a mic that helped me out a lot. My Rose of Versailles content has a somewhat interesting story. The main video is the general analysis. The first 2.5 minutes is a tightly edited analysis, where the words, music, and editing are all sort of dancing with each other. I like editing the violence and action in my videos. But for this video, I wrapped it up in a fast-paced 8-second bit, and then suddenly ended the first part here with the song with style. Pathetic, isn't it? The second part is a short little segment where I use a song that doesn't appear in the soundtrack. I edited in here from parts of the series and use a lot of the beautiful art to show Marie Antoinette. I wanted to make this little segment because every time this song played in the anime, it was used to create short but very beautiful and emotional moments during some of the episodes. I wanted to try doing this same thing here out of how much I liked how the song was used. This video did very well compared to the others at the time. The interesting part about that is that it's because of the second Versailles video I made. Nothing Bad Happens in Versailles, with the disclaimer warning violence, came out, and has become the most successful video of the channel. It is my second attempt at an AMV as well. The first being The Brutality of Space Runway Ideon, and most recently, Galaxy with You, Victory Gundam. This video about Versailles is currently sitting at 23,000 views and 550 likes. It even surpassed my joke videos like Legend of the Galactic Heroes, but it's K-on's OST. So it felt very accomplished to achieve this kind of thing. It was an AMV. But who would have thought of mixing Versailles with Vocaloid? Of course it would have had to have been me, but people seem to appreciate it. What happened was that at first, it did as well as the previous videos. Then a few days later, it suddenly exploded, and it took off from there. It was a pleasant surprise, and I often wonder if the Vocaloid producer that made that song has become aware of it by now, as this video has surpassed her own videos, many of them. Textilize is inspirational, not depressing, is a remake of 2 really old and terrible Textilize videos I made. Not only did I want to remake them, after a recent rewatch, I got tired of people saying that this anime is essentially a depressing work. What amuses me about making Textilize content is that it feels as if it compels me to make it weird. As a result, the beginning is a dreamy-like remake of my Yoshi analysis, but done with footage this time. The song is from the PlayStation 1 game Moon Remix RPG, and the words from an old book called Thus Spoke Zarathustra. An eerie presentation is done on purpose here, as the passages describe Yoshi's mission. Even though I clipped everything I wanted to from the series, I almost ran out of Yoshi clips. The second part is an introductory AMV. Textilize is a very brutal depiction of mankind heading towards a destructive low end. Thus, this was my attempt at what this looks like in my head in relation to this anime. Oftentimes, I'll pick a song and listen to it for days on end, putting the footage together in my head until I finally have all the clips I need. By the time I have the footage, I know what to do for the most part. Maybe it took me a month to release one of my passion projects, but I spent every day before putting the actual video together, planning it in my head, putting it together. What clips should I use here? What kind of scene should I use for this part of the song? I ask myself that all the time. The small clip with the little girl is to show some of the uneasiness Textilize often puts into the viewers. The strange audio mixing in that part felt unsettling also, the first time I watched it. It doesn't help that the voice actor for the girl has this sinister, optimistic, and manly tone to it. Afterwards, the song starts with laid out robots, who I edited to make it look as if they were dancing, and then I start the analysis. The beginning of this part uses footage from one of Textilize's episode previews. Textilize has really bizarre and amusing previews, and each one is worth watching. This preview shows a man in the iconic mask disappearing and reappearing all over the place, in Lux, while holding a mic. People ask me, and no, that's not me. However, I wanted to use something that looked appealing as an avatar. Too many times I've seen anime YouTubers use these pathetic, terribly designed avatars that make me feel as if I am watching a video for toddlers. With this, I show that what I thought would be a better example of that, be it briefly, and borrowed. Halfway into the video is a political analysis of Yoshi. I tried to use the soundtrack from the anime to create an eerie mood with the dark types of ideas I presented here. From there, I wanted to do a tone shift. I didn't want the video to feel too dark. For the next part, I used the song from the ED, and I concluded with another song from around the end of the anime. A Strange Evangelion video is exactly what it says it is. At the time, I had rewatched Evangelion, and after looking so critically at the characters, it made me look critically at myself, and how I found myself in part of them. This horrified me. My state of mind was already in a strange and not so good place during that time. I also felt under pressure to make a video on this, considering what it is. As a result, I used weird songs from old video games in a strange editing style. This video did pretty well for my channel. Being on Evangelion, it's understandable why. To be honest though, I didn't know what to say about Evangelion here. This ended up being more of a personal and somewhat gloomy autobiographical approach than anything else. In this video, I created a chaotic AMV to showcase the brutality of it. I was thinking about the Space Runaway Ideon video I made and wanted to make this in that same spirit. I used a classical song from Legend of the Galactic Heroes because it had the best version of that I could find in it, and because I thought it would fit with what kind of AMV I was going for, a dramatic and moving piece about the horrifying destruction, mass violence, and deaths of Evangelion. The only thing about this video is that I should have balanced the audio more. It was awful to begin with. I didn't have the mic at the time. I was also worried at the time that my laptop would not be able to handle editing a video of this size. Regardless, it kind of worked out at the end, and this became one of my favorite videos eventually. The video on my anime list was me talking about my frustrations with that website, that horrid website. At the time, the still incompetent staff running it made yet another terrible update and destroyed the review system more than it already was. You have those Fullmetal Alchemist fans who are completely obsessed with it being #1 in the top anime chart. They cheat and they manipulate the scores to do that. Well, guess what? Being #1 on my anime list as an anime doesn't mean anything. That website is a joke. Who takes it seriously? They will never understand. Its community is a madhouse of children and adults who are also children. The overall scores are so determined by strictly seasonal watchers, shonen battle viewers, kids, and people that don't even watch older anime, let alone don't even watch much anime anyways. Who would take this seriously? AniList is better. The My Anime List community is so bad that recently the staff completely gave up on certain parts of its comment section out of how bad the comments can be, and decided to take the lazy and easy way out, of course, by closing all of them. I quit the website back in the beginning of August and never came back. I also got tired of seeing the same people posting in every single thread of almost every single seasonal anime. It is a sick obsession, and they never have anything relevant or interesting to say besides just regurgitating the plot back. And these same people write hundreds of reviews for all this seasonal anime, but I've never liked any of them, saying so much while saying so little. And yet, these obsessed individuals are determined to curse that website even more as obnoxious parasites. This video is mostly about the hate comments on Single H's profile. That person is too creative and ambitious to make reviews on My Anime List. With the kinds of rules and moderators they have, it has been frustrating to see many great reviews get taken down. Single H went to AniList and experienced a similar fate there. Though if your review is mostly blog posts, you kinda have to expect it to get taken down. Other videos I don't have too much to say about. The video on MD Geist got some attention recently, as well as the one on Gridman. The one on Kiki's Delivery Service was amusing about my own bias growing up watching that movie an absurd amount of times. I was worried about copyright, and somehow managed to get around it. I do have a lot of copyright claims, but that's alright. I go in expecting that sometimes. But I wouldn't want to restrict the freedom to express myself the way I want to because of a copyright claim. That's why I made the Patreon, so people can support me in case all my videos get copyright claimed, or worst case scenario, I suffer the strike treatment, as many have recently, unfortunately. Now for this year, I have a lot of plans, a lot of ideas. I gotta get started. The question is, where do I go from here? Chaos or success?